care if these bitches don't like me. Cause like, I'm pretty as fuck.
Just the other day, I heard a hoe say, matter of fact, what could a hoe say? With a face like this and a bitch this paid? Shit, what could a hoe say? The bag so expensive, my pussy came with it. Body so nice, they be saying who did it. But everything natural, actual, factual.
Closet, I said, wait.
We're matching.
Period. Gotta get my love Austin.
Exactly. I ain't got my Austin on it, but it's pink. Kind of.
But you know, it's pink. Same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, so how are you? Everything okay?
Everything's good. I'm
Perfect.
still dealing with this stomach stuff, so I'm flying back to Austin on Monday to see my doctor for a little checkup. So right now we're all right. So
Perfect. I'm glad everything's okay. Obviously, I got to meet you at the championships.
Yes.
And you were a doll. I'd love to see it. I'm actually so glad I got to interview you. I was like, they were like, who do you want to talk to? And I was like, you know what? Kat's gonna have some good insight for me.
yeah, you know, and I don't want the sugarcoat shit either. So, because who gonna pop me?
Period. Nobody. That's why we get along.
You know what they gonna say? I tell you one thing. I never tell a lie. That's the truth. We'll never
Same.
tell a lie.
But I don't want to keep up with lies. You know what I mean?
No, they don't like that though. They don't like when you tell the truth. But I'm gonna tell the truth. I don't give a damn.
That part. Period. Okay, so real quick, I will cut this part out. But would you want to talk about going to Love Miami and then wait to release this until it gets announced next week?
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
Cute. I didn't know if you want to go ahead and we'll talk about it, and then that'll be like
they done had to text me a few times, like, Kat, make sure we're not trying to give it no hints. I'm living my life. And motherfuckers gonna see. So what you want me to do? I'm living my life. I'm on a boat.
Girl, I'm in Miami.
I'm living my life. So what y'all want me to do? When you
Period.
just be a little more like, just more reserved about where you are and your location? No. I'm
in Miami.
Yeah, that's where I live. This is my home. I live here. So
Yes.
yeah.
Are you so then let's get kind of into it. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited, honestly. I'm all my friends that came to visit, like Maddie Canaan, Rochelle, she's been here, and she even told me too. She was like, Kat, she was like, this is so you. Like, even my friends from like high school was like, you belong in a place like this. You know what I mean? And I never thought that like coming to Miami or even living here would be a thing for me because, coming to Florida was like Orlando. Orlando's cool, but it's not like, it ain't this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like Orlando. I can't live in Orlando, but I like being close to it.
Yeah, so it was there for like vacation and stuff, like Disneyland, World, whichever one it is, And I was like, you know what? I would never move here or live here. You know what I mean? So, And then life happens. Well, honestly, life happens, and it's like, I'm 33 years old. I meet someone. Obviously, it's very serious. We've taken in huge leaps within the past year of us seeing each other. And then, he was kind of in the mix, or kind of still in the mix of the love stuff. Once he kind of we've known each other for a long time, but seeing my passion behind the league, and then seeing who I am, and seeing what I represent and what the league represents, he became a little bit more involved as far as finding out background information. So I would say back in August, maybe September, he was like, I think they're bringing a love team here. I was like, no. I was like, Miami's not a volleyball hub. I don't see them doing that. I was like, no, in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, well, it aligns with my personal life. You know what I mean? I'm getting close to someone. We're talking about futuristic things and our lives together. So it's it wouldn't make sense. But just, what, for me, I don't want to get my hopes up, and it's too good to be true. Obviously, for me, Austin has always been my home. I love Austin.
Yeah. I also love Austin.
I love Austin. I think if Miami wasn't an option, I would have loved to stay in Austin, whether that was maybe offered to me or not, depending on what was going on. But I think everything lined up for me to come here, and I knew it was the right choice. So once I kind of got wind again, I would say sometime in the spring, I would say, I was calling people higher up and being like, I heard this. And they're like, how the fuck are you learning all this information? Just because people talk.
It was hush hush. It was hush hush though.
It was.
It was hush hush.
Yeah. So people talk, and it got back to me. So once it got back to me, I called people that I know would know, and they were like, well, it's not for sure. Well, I don't give a damn. So if it even becomes a thing, first one on the motherfucking list is going to be me. You know what I mean?
Period.
So, and I was hassling. So then here we are. But yeah, it's been great. I'm really happy and excited about the season starting, and I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It definitely was hush hush though, because when I was there at the finals, I'd already kind of heard same thing. Like I'd kind of heard it was a thing, but we don't have to go into details as to why they kept it hush hush. But it made sense why they were trying to keep it hush hush so that they're
Even
the
now.
only ones there.
Yeah, even now they're still doing it. It's still very low key. You know, I've talked to like again some people as far as like roster being released and like how they kind of wanted to do it. And there was a talk about like bringing like a crew here to like videotape me and like basically kind of do like a type of like a montage type of thing, announcing that I was going to be here. I may just still even do that on my own, but it's still in the works about doing that right now. And I don't even know if we're going to be launching like the week they say they are. You know, they're going to kind of do step by step. So I don't know if they're going to be doing it every day or once a week or whatever. But yeah, I'm just living here. We're waiting right now. Obviously, I'm recovering rehab, and like I said, they're still really like very low key. So I will definitely start moving some stuff around and finding out who to talk to. Because for me, it's like if I'm coming to a new team, I already know what goes into building a team, especially in this league. You're gonna need strength and conditioning coaches. You're gonna need doctors, PTs, chiropractors, massage therapists, and I'm already in the mix of all like the best people that are already here. And I'm like, who y'all got? If you don't have anyone, let me know so I can show you the way. So
the people, right?
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, you want to also we can backtrack a little bit now because you played pretty much everywhere in the world.
Yes, everywhere.
And you've done everything in college. You did the things. You played for, come on, Burnt Orange, honey. And do you want to talk about just like your journey, everything that led you to kind of like coming back to the States and picking love and, you know, all the works?
Yeah, honestly, I say this to everybody that like volleyball gave me more than I expected it to, honestly. And I think also the only bad part I would say about like being this age or like being in this kind of stage of volleyball was that like we missed NIL. Like that sucked. You know what I mean? Like we missed those coins.
I know that check is fat for some of these girls.
What? For sure. For sure. So I would say NIL is probably the biggest like yuck about it. But besides that, sorry, I'm getting over kind of a sinus cold. I would say like I said, volleyball has given me so much more than I thought it would give me. And I'm so happy about all the things I've gotten to experience. Like we can just obviously go all the way back. Like being in high school, I started off kind of late. You know what I mean? I didn't get to like, you know, I was a basketball player. So basketball was my first love. Many people don't know is that at one point I was trying to sign a scholarship for a dual athlete. At first I was thinking about playing basketball A&M and then playing volleyball A&M. And then as I got better at volleyball, well, I was really good at basketball. I developed a better like love for volleyball. You know what I mean? Became more passionate about it. Then I realized that I just wanted to do one, and I ended up quitting basketball like my junior year. So I was like already like top in the state, already top in the city for Dallas. And I would say by the time I got to my junior year, I already knew I was what that is. You know what I mean? Like I knew I was.
Period.
If you don't know, now you know. But yeah, so coming out of high school, I was number 2 recruit in the country. Super cool. Did all the Under Armour All-American stuff. Recruiting for me was super difficult for me. I think it came down to where I wanted to live. At first, I was like, yeah, you know, I've been in Texas my whole entire life. Like I was born in California, so I was like, maybe I'm going back to Cali. So I was like, either I'm going on the East Coast or the West Coast. So I was either going to go to maybe UCLA. USC was in the picture. And then, like, Mick Haley, we wasn't vibing back then. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of those athletes that, for a lot of girls, he would, this is the truth, you know, not threaten you, but almost like, you know, he would just tell you, like, you know, well, if you don't commit to me soon, you know, you're going to have to probably pull your scholarship or, like, give it to somebody else. That's okay.
Give it to somebody else.
Yeah, fine. I don't care. That's okay with me. I don't care.
Right.
You know, I want to feel like
I got options.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I want to feel wanted and that kind of stuff too, you know. I went on an OU visit, and I remember going on my OU visit that like, this sounds real bougie, but I don't give a damn. On my OU visit, I was there with like, I kid you not, like 10 other recruits. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, who are these girls? I'm not with them. Like, why are we, you know, I want to be wine and dined. You know what I mean? Like, you know? So, and I was only used to what the football guys, one of my close friends was a football player, went to Texas as well. And so he was talking about his recruiting process and like how the coaches were rolling out the red carpet. And I'm like, I need that type of like vibe.
I want that treatment.
Yeah. So I was thinking about going to UCLA. I ended up going to a Florida camp, which kind of did, I don't know if this was legal or not back then, but like I went to camp, but also kind of like Mary pulled me from camp and showed me around the campus and that kind of stuff. And I love Florida. I love the blue. My high school team was like a royal blue, and Florida's like this like different blue. Love of my life went to UF too. So I'm kind of a Gator fan now because of him, but yeah. Anyways. But yeah, so like I was like, okay, I think I was really leaning on going to Florida. And honestly, Jared was always in the mix. Like he was coming, like Mesquite is a small town, Dallas County, you know? So Jared was coming to all my high school games. He was sitting in the stands. And I tell you, I was so disrespectful. Like I'm talking about like I would... In high school, when my team would warm up in like the high school like sweatsuit, I wore my Texas hoodie. Like I'm not wearing. That's the type of bitch I was. You know what I'm saying? Coach didn't care. Like you know,
what were they gonna do? Bench you?
No, there were some times that they did because I had an attitude problem. But you know, we grow up. We grow out a bit. No, dead ass. Like one time, I told her for a story time, really quick. Me and her would get into. I just talked to her recently. I'm being inducted to the Hall of Fame, by the way. That hasn't been released yet, too, but that's coming. Really soon. Thanks. I'm inducted to the Hall of Fame or Texas Hall of Honor.
As you should.
I talked to her and I wanted to invite her to my ceremony. And, you know, we just kind of reminisced about when I was in high school. And she's like, remember that time, like, you know, in the tournament where you were yelling at the girls because they weren't playing good and I sat you on the bench? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, then you still kept yelling at the girls from the bench and I sat you in the stands? I said, yes. And she goes, and then you were still yelling at the girls and I told you to get out of the stands to go sit on the bus? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, remember what happened after that? I said, yes. We had a practice the next day and it was about like teaching me like a lesson. She was like, you know, there's no I in team. You know what I mean? But there's a me in team, but there's a, you know what I mean?
You're right.
And she goes, what we're going to do is we're going to play 1 versus 6. Okay. My high school team is me. All right. I swear to God, can I make this up? I'm telling you now, but never tell a lie. She said it was 6 versus 1. And she was like, and if whoever loses has a punishment. I kid you not, and I get first serve because I'm by myself, and I used to top spin top spin in high school, and we're playing points to 10. I beat them twice in a row, and she just made them run. My best friend was on the team. She was starting outside, and at one point she was like, "Just don't hit it to her," you know, like they didn't have like the IQ, you know what I mean?
Right,
I was the only one playing like club, that kind of stuff too, and I was really good for my age, you know, and I know that coach was pissed. I know she was pissed. The third time I lost on purpose because she was gassing them. Like I felt bad, you know what I mean? So like, you know, I'm running. I'm like, okay, you won. Like, and so we talked about that. But yeah, so yeah, back to what I was saying. But yeah, Jared, he was at all my games. Like I didn't give him no time of day. Wouldn't talk to him. Like, who's this bald white-haired man? I ain't fucking with that. I don't know about that. You know what I mean? And I was forced, honest to God, I was forced on a visit from my family. They were like, just go down to Texas, because Jared was very adamant, talked to my high school coach. And she was like, just go down there and see what it's like. And I'm like, you know what? I know I don't want to go to school in Texas. I'm sure of that. Like, I know I don't want to go to school here. So they were like, just go. And I watch a lot of movies, and especially a lot of scary movies. And one thing I knew about college is when girls go to college, you may have to bleep this out, but people get raped. Bad things happen when you go to college. Right. You know what I mean? I'm a high school kid watching movies. That's all I know. And apparently on the visit, I was staying with Rachel Adams in her dorm room with her. Right. I don't know this bitch. Y'all got me staying here with this girl. I don't know her like that. And I packed a knife in my bag. I sure did. I packed a knife in my bag. Didn't need to use it. Amen.
Thank God.
Packed a knife in my bag. Went on a visit, and like it was just the best time ever. Like there I met like Destiny Hooker, like all the greats, like Julianne Fawcett, like
they brought out the works for you there.
Oh, that was the first time I'd seen so many women of color on one team, you know? And the best thing they were like, what I knew once I went to Texas, that like, because we were so like diverse, everyone called us like ghetto. Isn't that crazy? Like, they'd be like, oh, that's the hood team. Yeah, not really, but if y'all want to say that, we'll take on, you know. And we'll still beat you. Exactly. And so we would play like, you ever heard of Meek Mill's like Dreaming Nightmares? You heard that song before? Hold on, wait a minute. That was like our first like warm up song on the court at our home games. This is before they started filtering the music, and I was like, we would burn CDs, and I was the one burning the CDs. You know what I'm saying? So it was really cool. What made me want to go there for sure is that like my first visit there, the girls like had a fight, like an argument at the table in front of me. At one point, you know, Bailey Webster was like, "Y'all, can we not do this in front of the recruit?" And I was like, by all means,
give it to me.
Come on, what's real? Give me what's the inside scoop? What's real? So once I left there, everyone talks about like when you want to decide where you want to go to school, you have this feeling. And for the longest time, like at one point I was so stressed, like my hair started falling out because I didn't know where I wanted to go. And once I left Texas, I was like, whoa, like it was almost like I was looking forward to going back. And the recruiting process and how girls commit now, and everyone does it differently. Like when I tell you I'm just so raw, I stand on everything that's in the present moment. You know what I mean? I know you can go home and like talk it over with your family. My recruiting process and nothing with my family, it was all me. Me and my mom weren't sitting down having conversations, or my dad, you know, my mom, I was in a single parent home, so it was only me and my mom. But like, that wasn't what I was doing. My coach would have to sit me down sometimes and be like, hey, Kat, like, you know, so what do you think? I'm like, bitch, I don't know. It's just gonna come. And that's what I thought. I just thought it was gonna come. So once I left there, I think I went back one more time to watch a game. And when I was sitting on the court, and just Gregory, everyone talks about Gregory. Gregory is like the most amazing atmosphere. Like that gym is insane. Like I love that gym. And I was sitting on the bench, and the girls are like warming up and they're about to play Kansas State. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, like, and I'm having these feelings. I'm like, shit, like, I got chills. I'm like, this is what it is. Like, this is the feeling that everyone's talking about. So Jared's like, I ain't told nobody. At this moment, I'm feeling this. I'm about to tell your ass. So he's sitting next to me, and I'm like, I think I want to play here. And he was like, what? I said, yeah. I was like, I thought I said it wrong. I was like, I mean, yeah, you're a student first and an athlete, you know? So I was like, oh, well, I think I want to come to school here. Like, I want to come to school here. He goes, you want to come play for Texas? And I was like, yeah. He goes, are you committed to me right now? And I was like, yeah. Like, I didn't know what the fuck. That's what I'm supposed to do, right? You know, like, I'm telling you, you know? And so he was like, wow, like, oh my God. Like, he was super surprised and shocked and so happy. He played a joke on Salima Rockwell, and Salima was one of the coaches there and at the time. And he told her, he was like, hey, Salima, I was being recruited heavily by Penn State as well. So he was like, hey, Salima, like, Kat's going to go to Penn State. And she was like, well, get her off the fucking bench. Like, I read her lips. She was like, get her off the fucking bench. And he was like, I'm just kidding. She was like, so she came over and she talked to me, congratulated me. They told the girls before the game started, like, I had committed, and everyone came up and congratulated me. Like, it was amazing. And honestly, like, the best 4 years of my life. Was it crazy? Yeah, but the best 4 years of my life, for sure.
Oh, I love that. And let's go into that a little bit more, because I feel like some people that on the outside looking in, they want to give so much shit to Texas. And like, obviously, I mean, at this point, people know, like, me and Sage, we good friends. And she's always, like, at first, you know, I'm also skeptical because you see how Jared can be on the court sometimes. But she was just telling me, like, Jared's like so kind and like, just like one of the, like, he just really nurtures the players. And I feel like, maybe do you want to talk about that some and like help the outside people that don't understand like the dynamic of a court presence coach versus what it means off the court?
Yeah, it's you have to be there to really understand it and witness it and be a part of that. You know, one thing I always say is that like Texas is not for everybody. You know, Texas is a big school, big name, heavy hitters. You know what I'm saying? But when Jared recruits his players, he's not promising people starting positions. It doesn't work that way. It's like you have to come in here and work your ass off, and if you don't and you get outbeat, you just get outbeat. But you have to compete every single day. You know, and be ready. So honestly, it definitely has helped me like in my career. Throughout my entire professional career, like I learned a lot being there. But Jared, for me, became like a father figure for me. You know, we might have a relationship, but I didn't grow up with him. And so I would say Jared was like the second present male role model in my life. And he knew I had a lot of trauma. He knew I had a lot of trauma. Like for me, like I was had a very aggressive, well, I'm not, it's more like controlled, but like I had a very defensive, aggressive, like personality. You know what I mean? I took like disrespect very like serious, you know what I mean? And like one thing about myself is like I wear my heart on my sleeve, you know what I mean? Like if we're on a team, like I love you because we're already on this team together. And it took me to like come out of that and play a few years professionally to be like, okay, like these are girls that you're going to work with and you can develop a relationship with them, but like you cannot like just give your heart to everyone because things happen on teams, that kind of stuff too. So Jared, he definitely like brings us and his number one thing is like making us women, you know what I mean? Because as you go in, we're still teenage girls, you know what I mean? Like we're fresh out of high school. You graduate and then maybe 2 weeks later you're off to summer workouts, you know what I mean? So I think he did such a fantastic job as far as like being a nurturer and being like that father figure for us. But one thing I will say is like Jared's different with everybody. That's the truth. Jared is different with everyone needs something different for him and he's really good about that. but I will say that like as the older classmen, like the upperclassmen, I would say that the older group of girls would say like Jared has gotten more soft. I feel like he was really like hard on us in a good way. You know what I mean? Like obviously like we were some of the best athletes at that time, around that time, and like very good competitors. And we were always like in the Final Four, whatever it was. But I feel like, I guess also maybe it just goes to this generation of volleyball players. They're a lot more, they need a lot more babying, I guess, so to speak. You know, like,
they do.
You know, we didn't have a lot of like, for example, I was six rotation outside when I first went to Texas. I was passing and playing outside. Was I passing like the best? No, but the bitch could put the ball away on the pin for sure. Yeah. And our middle blockers were tall, but they weren't like explosive. They weren't athletic, and they couldn't really close the block. And I played some middle when I was in high school, so Jared knew that I was capable of doing it. They sit me down my freshman year, halfway through the season. I'm already like built up these accolades to being like Big 12 freshman of the year, all this stuff's already come across my table as it is. And they're like, Eric sits me down. He's like, we need you to play middle. If that would happen to somebody right now, going from outside playing 6 rotations to play middle, they're transferring. They're not doing it. There's no way that's a thing. There's not a thing. But in my case, it's team was before me. So it's like, hey, my goal coming here was to win that championship. And so whatever I got to do to bring those pieces together to do that, I'm going to do that shit. You know what I mean? So I moved to the middle. Baby girl couldn't hit quicks for nothing. I was hitting 2 balls out of the middle and knocking hoes out. Like, it was crazy. Like, it was insane. It was like November of 2011, blew out my knee. Everything was intact. Everything blew out besides my PCL. Like meniscus, MCL, ACL, everything was gone. Yeah. And I will say, everything happens for a reason, because as good as I was on the court, you know, I wasn't going to class all the time. You know, I was trying to, baby, prime time. I was kicking it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna tell the truth. I was kicking it. I'm talking about like, we going out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sundays. I'm dead ass, like, and I'm 19 years old. You know, when you're in a place like that and you're a volleyball player, you're royalty. So going out against bars, it wasn't a thing. You know,
and you already know you're the tallest one when you get there, so you're making a statement when you walk in.
They already know who we are. They already know. They already know how this goes. There was people doing this before I got there, so they're not IDing us, that kind of stuff. I didn't have my first drink till I got to college, so like, you know, once I had that first little sip of vodka, it was on. You know what I mean? And I'm serious. I'm telling the truth. The night I'm a right-handed guy. I know this is why this happened. When I tell you, I was having the like playing out of my mind. And the talks of like being freshman of the year was coming up and that kind of stuff too. And like, anyways, so we went to play Kansas and on a Friday. So we flew on a Friday on a chartered plane. Thursday night, I went out, okay? I swear to God, this is a true story. Thursday night, I went out, got into a fight in the street. We got maced, okay? One of my friends, he got maced all in his eyes, was one of the best like defensive players like at the University of Texas. That was probably his worst game of his entire college career. I had got maced on the side of my hair, so like I still was like having like burning sensation on the side of my hair, all types of shit. Going out, partying, get on the charter, hungover, get to Kansas, popping off. And it was one ball that was too much to my left on the 2 ball. It went up, I hit the ball, got the kill. Someone tagged me in a post, they watched the Florida game, the year we won that national championship, and they have a clip. I can send it to you too. They have a clip of when I fell and tore my ACL. Got up, got the kill, fell, grabbed my knee instantly. I knew what I had done. And like to this day now, I knew that was God being like, you know what? Just as easily as I gave it to you, you ain't doing right. I'm going to take it away. And from there, it was just... Because after that, you can't play anymore. So, like, everything I was in line to do, I couldn't do anymore because I wasn't able to play. So, had to miss the tournament, missed all the freshman of the year stuff. Haley ended up getting it, which is great. Love her. She's my sister. Love her to death. She got into the Hall of Fame last year, and I'm right after her this year. So, it's perfect. And from there, I was like, fuck, either, you know, am I going to change? No. But I'm going to lock in. You know what I mean? So,
right.
But now I got a reason. You know, I can't play volleyball. I can't work out. I can barely walk. But I can go out with a crutch. I'm going to do that anyways. But, you know, it was a learning lesson, life lesson. Came back. I mean, my hustle about injuries is insane. Like, I just have a grit about myself. Came back playing volleyball. Like, I was running. I was running and cutting in like 3-4 months. I was playing in like 5 or 6 months. And normally for ACLs, you don't come back to like 8 months plus. Baby, I was in it. And the following year, national championship, we won that. After that, obviously 3-time American. And then again, going into I played middle blocker in my sophomore and junior year. Then going into my senior year, Jared's like, hey, can you play opposite for us? And I'm like, whatever we got to do. Yeah, I'm going to play opposite too, you know?
Be on the opposite.
Get on the opposite. That's where the coins is at. That's
definitely where the coins at.
That's where the coins. Unless you Chiaka.
She's another beast altogether.
She's getting that money. Yeah. So that was awesome to play with her too. So moved to the opposite, and that was obviously fortunate for me. Like going into my pro career, I became a pin hitter. So from there, I just kind of took off. So yeah.
Oh, period. Love that story. And I also love the grit about injuries, because that actually leads me into a discussion that is a big reason I am anti 5-for-5.
Okay.
Because I think that without medical red shirts, we'll have a lot of athletes that push too hard to be like, I'm fine, and play through their injury and not take it seriously. So I'd actually like your opinion on that, because I've blown my knee out twice.
Yeah.
They'll definitely clip me for that, because they hate when I bring it up. But I 2 ACL tears on my left knee. But and I'm like, first one came back super quick. I was like, same thing. I was running it like 3 months. I was chilling. I was like, I'm not missing. I'm playing. And then I just can't imagine, like, now there's no medical red shirt. So it's like, even if you just sprain an ankle, like if they come back because they don't want to miss time and they hurt it worse, I don't know. So I'm just curious what your opinion is on all the 5-for-5 with no red shirts.
I mean, when I was in school, they had gray shirts, red shirts. They had like multiple things. Depending on like whenever you got hurt around the time period, there was like a cutoff period, something like that too. So I think like the 5-for-5 is kind of crazy. I feel like you should just be in school for 4 years. If you miss your 4 years, that's it. You know what I mean? That's just what I think. That's just what I think. And then I feel like if you, let's say you get a 5-for-5, and I feel like your stats the last year shouldn't count, because like, of course you're going to be the highest scorer in history if you got 5 years over everybody else in your position that only got 4. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. I'm like, now you got to reset the record books. You got a whole new era of volleyball.
Exactly. It's not sustainable either too. It's gonna be very interesting, honestly. Especially with all this like recruiting and like transfer portal
I was gonna
stuff.
Say,
like
the recruiting stuff.
Back in our day, that's so funny. I always say that. Back in my day, ew. Like if you transferred, you were a problem. You know what I mean? It was like it was a you thing. Like no one left school. If you left school, you were the issue. And now I feel like people are up and going for the smallest things. Oh, my coach yelled at me, or he made me run. Girl, bye. Like this generation, I think, is definitely different from our generation. Like we always call us dogs. Like we figured it out. Like we just figured it the fuck out, you know? So we didn't cry about it. We didn't whine about it. If we hurt, we playing anyways. You know what I mean? Like we don't need to take breaks, or I need a mental health break. What the fuck is that? Like we didn't do that. You know what I mean?
Baby, if you want to play, you got to play. Like
just play. You don't learn anything not playing through adversity. You know what I mean? Because adversity does not only hit physically and mentally. Both those things. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to go through both those things. You know, so I think going overseas is a plus. I think this is how I feel. I feel like to play in our league, I think you need at least a year of experience playing overseas, wherever that is, just to get the mold of like being on your own and not dependent on like everything being done for you. There's a growth part of it. That's the truth. Look at Logan. Logan's going back. Logan's a phenomenal volleyball player. She did some overseas stuff in her bid, but she has to get more experience, and she knows that. And that's having that accountability, know about yourself, fucking cats off. Of course, it's comfortable to be in America and to be with your friends and your family every day, and like having a place that people speak the same language as you, or the food's not an issue, all those things. But like, there's something else about knowing who you are and finding out who you are when nothing is for you. You have to kind of go pave your way. If that makes sense. You know, go play with some older players that have been playing in that country for forever. Right. Sometimes they treat you like dog shit, but that's fine. You still swing on, bop up on them hoes and keep going and get your check and come back home. Like that's part of it. So
right. Yeah, I love that take on it. I think some people, they don't understand. Like you learn a lot by going overseas. That's what everyone says.
And it's more than just like volleyball. You know what I mean? Like this is gonna stop. And I know like I've been able to like take so many things from my experience overseas that's gonna help me become the woman I'm still chasing after every day, being a great parent, a great wife, you know, continue being a great daughter, you know what I mean? A great friend. There's just things that you learn about yourself that I feel like it's very difficult to learn when you're in a situation that like is built for you. You know what I mean? When everybody else is catering to you, you don't know if you are as mentally tough as you think you are. If you're in a situation, people are like, okay, well, I don't feel good today, or like I can't do it. And people are like, oh, it's okay, honey, try again tomorrow. You know, it's not like overseas. It's like, what the fuck you mean? Either you gonna do this right now, or you're gonna lose your job. Like that's just what it is. It's not like a, well, I didn't perform good today, but I'll just try again next game. No. That's not a thing. You better play better next game, or you're out of here. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. That's it. No, I'm saying I agree, because everybody that's done overseas stuff all says the same thing. It's like here it's great. It's a good tailored environment for like the NCAA athletes, and like Love is definitely approaching a level that can compete with the top leagues. Yeah. But like they all say, like you learn so much about like volleyball. It can be your hobby and what you love in life, but like it is also your job, so you have to take it seriously.
And I'll be devil's advocate too. Also, like, okay, well, Kat, you could go both sides. Well, do you think if you were our age and had NIL stuff, blah, 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 think you go overseas after you graduate college? Hell no! That's for sure.
Especially because the money's coming, to the States.
If you collecting, the check is running. But for me, that's my career. My entire career is based on, like, people can say, oh, Kat didn't play in Sev Cubs, or maybe she didn't play in some of the best leagues in the world, blah, blah, blah. I didn't give a fuck. I wasn't playing to meet the standard of being on the national team or trying to be the best, blah, blah, blah. I was playing for money. Like, I had people that depended on me.
It's your job.
You know what I mean? I didn't come from when I graduated college, I had $1,000 to my name that somebody gave me. That's me and my mom together. I had my mom quit her job. Hey, we can't just come overseas with me. We go on to Korea. That check was cashing the fuck in.
That was the biggest. I didn't know Korea pays like that.
Korea be bringing the money, and I was before they were paying more before they started paying what they're paying. They're paying more now, but back then, at first they were paying girls like $800,000, $400,000.
That's what I heard,
baby. Nicole Fawcett. That's my girl. Nicole, baby, Nicole was collecting coins, okay?
Yeah. Taylor Fricano was telling me the same thing. She said they got money down there.
But I tell you what, you're going to have to earn every motherfucking penny. Every penny, bitch. Not dime, not nickel, not quarter, every penny. When I tell you, my first year there, it's my first year going pro. So it's like, I'm here. They paying me to be here. I'm going to give 100% every single day. You can't do that there. I'm telling you now, anybody that's gonna go play in Korea, I'm telling you now, I played there 3 times. Last time I was there, won a championship, was the finals MVP. You cannot give 100% every single day. It's not a thing. You got to give a little bit here, a little bit there, because your body wears and tears. They're gonna give you every ball. You're gonna hit 80 balls in the game. And then they want you to hit 80 balls in practice.
Yeah, they like prepare, and it's like my body can't prepare for that long.
they try to prepare you. I'm like, this is not how that works. Like this ain't a test. You can't read some shit. You can read some shit, prepare for a test, and blah 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 blah. They're physically preparing you for a match that like your body cannot compensate for. It's impossible. You can't. When I tell you, I went 32 days straight, 2-a-days. Okay, no off day. I'm talking schedule list. We got weights in the morning, strength conditioning in the morning. So we start at 9 a.m. That is one time we went and ran a mountain. I swear to God. It was 1,000 steps up this motherfucking mountain, a mile jog down and around, and 1,000 back up. These girls, the Korean girls, these bitches hit that shit 5 times. I got around maybe once, and I was like, I ain't running. Fuck y'all. I can't. Y'all want me to score these points? I want me to run this mile. You want me to be
fresh or not?
Like, I'm not. Hell, they were like, come on, Kanchana's like, are you okay? No, I'm not okay. Where the fuck is the water? Give me the Gatorade. A bitch need a fan. Help me. Like it was fucking insane. And that was the schedule, like every day. Strength conditioning, like you running, hitting weights hard from like 9 a.m. to like lunchtime. And then you go to treatment, you go to lunch, and they have a room for you to sleep in. My first year, my apartment was closed, so I was going home. And by the time I would get home to eat lunch, my mom making me lunch. And like she had to force me to eat. I was so tired. She had to force me to eat. There were days that I would cry, that I would want to quit. Like it was so hard. But I was like, but this is money. I was like, was like, them $dollar bills, baby. I said, you know what? Even if they wanted me to quit, it ain't happening. Fuck what y'all talking about. I'm gonna stay my bitch ass right here.
So that coin speaks.
What? It speaks. So, I was playing for money. For example, I love the Philippines. The Philippines is one of the best places. Like, I feel like you can play. The people are great. The food is great. The culture is amazing. It's great vacation time. And, compared to the rest of the world, Philippine volleyball is definitely coming up on the come up, but they're just a smaller country. The girls aren't as big, very explosive, super athletic, but as far as like height wise, it's a difference. You know what I mean? But the volleyball, the level is getting better and better every single year. And when I first started playing there, I know girls like for example, you wouldn't go play in the Philippines, so they would say, well, the level's not that high, Motherfucker, they paying. And if you can talk,
oh, they love the show.
Is crazy.
They love the show.
Crazy. If you can talk, they love it. They love it. They love it. They love it. The way I was, my first year, I had an agent contract my contracts, like help me orchestrate my contracts. But I went there and played 2 more times after that. By that time, or 3 more times after that. By that time, I was doing my own contracts. I knew by the time I left that bitch, I was the highest paid player on the island ever. Ever. Like, my first time I was there, I signed a contract. I came in to replace a girl who got injured, and I was only supposed to be there for I came for the semifinals and the finals. But with this team was that if you win, in your contracts, you never put in bonuses because the owner's going to give it to you anyways, but you don't know how much of a bonus. And it's always going to be your salary times whatever they think they want to give you. So they want me to come back, obviously. Right. So I went there from the semifinals to the finals. This is 2018. I was there for 2.5 weeks, and we won the finals. I made the signing contract plus times 3 in 3 weeks. They pay them coins, and people girls, no one's thinking about that. They're chasing, and that's fine. Like, do what's best for you. If volleyball for you is an outlet to, you want to grow, you want to compete against yourself, you want to be the best of this, best of that, that's great. That's awesome. But I feel like for me, what I'm doing, one is enough. If I'm applying myself the best way I can, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, I know I can't do it forever. I want to be able to walk and run with my kids. I'm already having knee troubles as it is. To be honest, I'm already on them last few straws. You know what I'm saying?
I got a few laps left.
Yeah, but I'm playing now this is what I've waited for my entire career. You know what I mean? I can't believe I've stayed in it long enough to, one, see this come into fruition, how you say that word, and to see it come alive, because this is things I dreamed about. So I'm like, if I'm able to look at Jordan Larson.
Girl, I was like, we can talk about Jordan too.
If you're able to come back, look at the moms that are having babies and come back. If you're able to, it's not about now I've made the money.
Yeah.
It's not about the money. It's about I'm now playing. I didn't love it for a long time. I did not love it. And now I'm playing because I'm enjoying it now. I get to enjoy being home and being a pro athlete in the sport that I love and I played for so long. And my nieces and my nephews can watch me on TV and come to my games and watch me live. You know what I mean? Like, I'm able to go home every day in my bed and go to work every day. You know what I mean? So like I said, it's given me so much. And I'm so glad I did my pro career the way I did. Of course, like I would say, I played in Sultan leagues before. I played in Korea. I played in Turkey. I played in so many places. And whether people think it's jurisdiction to say, well, that wasn't a save, that wasn't a high level. Did you do it? I may have to blur this out, but exactly.
I ain't blurring it out.
Regina been tired since 2015. Is your mama retired?
Right.
I don't think so. You retiring your parents? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Bills taken care of, things is owned, got my shit together, and my family's taken care of. That's what's important to me. And now I'm like, okay, I get to, feed and give to the younger generation that's after me. I love being able to see Asia and Logan and give them feedback every single day, and not just hey, you could do this better. Yeah, that kind of, but also okay, sometimes volleyball, you can wake up one day, you know how it is. You play. You can wake up one day and sometimes your shit just be off. You don't know why you're playing bad. You're like, damn, I'm ass. I'm trash today. Who knows? Yeah. But it's all about your mindset. You know what I'm saying? They say, well, find different parts of the game if you're not being successful in another part of the game. Exactly. Great. Yeah. And use that to feel yourself and onto whatever you may be lacking in that game day. You know what I mean? So I think for me now, it's now that the league is getting more competitive, now I want to compete. I've got a little more competitive drive to me, I ain't gonna lie. Now I really want to we've kind of even the playing field now. As you see, each roster only has 2 opposites, blah, blah, blah. So now it's a lot more competitive now. I'm happy like now after like in practice this past 2 years, like you spend so much time like sitting on the sidelines, trying to rotate in and out, So like now that like it's more even playing field, I'm like, oh yeah, like I might as well, if I'm banging, might as well go out with a bang, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my plan ideally, honestly, is to retire and like not this season, but next season, and like start my little family thing, depending on when he come on with this shit right here.
Yeah, he need to hurry up and get to it.
Yeah, so, but yeah.
I love that. And do you want to kind of go into, you touched a little bit on it with Logan and Asia, but we'll go into USA volleyball stuff too, just like maybe talk about how they're there. But for being at Love Austin this past year and the year before, and just like being that mentor for them, and like some of them, well, I guess all of them have gone overseas, but except Asia. Did Asia go? I can't remember the timeline of that.
Asia didn't go. And
Asia
Skinner
just
didn't
stayed
go.
here.
Asia,
Yeah,
Skinner.
and Maddie. And then the others, I think, for the most part, had at least a season
Maddie
overseas.
Kubik went, I think, at least
Maddie,
once,
I think, had one. I don't know where, but I think she had one season somewhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so just like being that mentor for them. I know we talked a little bit about this at the finals with you and Maddie specifically, but just being that for all of them and like watching them flourish, and not only just like as a pro athlete, but also like you all came from the same school. So like, it's just like the legacy.
I 100% the legacy. I feel like definitely like big sis, you know what I mean? To all of them, Chiaka, Molly, even though we're all kind of closer in age, but like I see them as like younger sisters to me. And to see my little Asia, my little Logan and Maddie, they, to see them grow the past 2 years and also just grow from their college game into their professional careers have been so amazing. I think I'm the kind of mentor of like tough love, I'm going to feed you the truth, and I'm going to feed you the shit that you need to hear. You know what I mean? Like, and to see them fight through their adversities on and off the court, and to bring the best version of themselves every single day, whatever version that is, has been great. I'm so proud of them. They're just like my little babies, and like being able to be on the team with them the past 2 years and be able to get to know them on a personal level more than just like kind of us through passing or going to Texas together, being able to like develop those relationships and the friendship with them has meant a lot to me. Obviously, sadly, like, last year was kind of cut short due to my injury and that kind of stuff too. But like for my birthday, I think I came in for my birthday and they all like kind of sang happy birthday to me or something like that happened. And I started to cry, just because like, it was like, for me, it's like, this is my last birthday with this like amazing group of girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, even the finals was kind of weird. That situation was just kind of weird for me. So I didn't get to like really end it the way I wanted to end it, but knowing that like, I'm a phone call away from them. They need anything, they can call me, they can depend on me, for anything. So, it's been really cool to see them grow, and I'm happy for them for sure. Yeah.
And also seeing them be incredible this summer. Yes. I don't know how much USA volleyball you're watching this summer,
but that's the highlights.
Oh God! I know you booked it busy, baby. Miami got you right.
For me, I love volleyball, but I'm not a volleyball like watcher. You know what I mean? Like, I may watch some of the games during the season for love, but like I'm not an avid like volleyball watcher. So I catch up on the highlights and stuff that the girls may repost. Or if there's a big game that I know like I should watch, like I'll watch it. I feel like if I would have known that they were playing Turkey yesterday, I would have watched. But
it's so late.
Yeah, that's what Maddie Canaan told me. But yeah, I've seen the highlights. Asia gonna be Asia, baby. That's for
Asia.
Sure.
She had a good summer last summer, but it's night and day. Baby, I don't know what she did between last year and this year.
It's just growth,
It's growth.
Last year was her first year, I think, playing on the big roster. So of course, there's a lot of like butterflies and nerves and anxieties, and like she's grown her game like so much, and just mentally,
Yes.
She's developed so much. So now it's like she's a vet at this point. She's not really considered like, a rookie anymore. Like she knows her shit, and she's popping it. So
literally come in in the biggest game of the summer and be like the literal game changer. Yeah. Like big reason we won.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I saw those. Logan too, Logan, I think.
Oh my God, Logan's been eating.
Yes. People talk about her passing, that kind of stuff too. Logan has worked really hard this past year in her passing. Her passing was a lot better for us this season than last season. Everybody can attend to that. But her proud of her too. Yeah, defense, all that kind of stuff too. That's why I'm just so proud of her to going overseas and I think she's going to Italy. Yeah, she's going to play in Italy just to get,
I think that's right.
Yeah, her full, well-rounded self, and like, I love that for her, for sure.
Yeah, I think she did it right too, because obviously they moved her to opposite before she came back to the States. And I think that she wanted to make that move back to the outside, knowing that her goal was USA.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just speculation. You would know more than me. But I think that was like super smart that she's like, let me come back, let me get my footing back in the US as an outside. And then now I'm going to go back now that I'm a little bit better. And I'm excited for her. I think she's going to get really, really... I mean, to me, she's a lot really for LA.
Yeah.
I think she is. Yeah. And her serve is nasty.
She brought back the hybrid she was doing in college this season with Eric. Eric, I would say, gave her a lot of confidence. But like, just go back there and fucking rip it. If you miss it, it's fine. But like, I'd rather you be aggressive than like fucking lollipop it over the net. So she's working on it a lot in practice, and it showed a lot, obviously, in the finals as well. She's been working on it really good.
That actually reminded me. Do you want to talk a little bit about Eric's coaching? Because I know there's a lot of negative about it. And honestly, last summer, I gave him a big pass because he was missing everybody. And this year, I'm like, I mean, we just beat Turkey. And we have, the Poland loss, I think we really could have won. I think that game, but it's the first big game, and it was a big moment, and, people get caught up in the moment. We're not there. We're not living in that to know. But just like maybe how his coaching style is, and I don't know, just insight on it, since people don't always get to know.
Yeah, I think my perspective is maybe a little bit different too, just because I've caught Eric in like multiple seasons. Obviously I caught him my first time playing in college. I think he's a lot more calm now than he was in college. Eric's favorite thing to tell us all the time was like, it's not fucking rocket science. We like, we college kids. How are we supposed to transition and blah, blah, blah. Like, you're a fucking Olympian and, all this kind of stuff. Like, you've been playing for a long time. Excuse me. Playing for a long time. So it is fucking like rocket science to us. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like he's gotten a lot more patient for sure too. In my second stage, I would say my season, I met Eric is like on a more personal level. Obviously after graduating, we kind of kept in touch every now and then and developed a relationship outside of volleyball. And I think love him, but I love him better as a friend than a coach. That's for sure. That's And then what's funny, and this is the truth, I was really excited about Eric coming to coach Liv Austin for us. And I remember seeing him at one of the Athletes Unlimited games, and I went over to him, like we hadn't seen each other like since last summer, and like gave a big, I think everybody was very surprised with this interaction because we were just like really embraced and like very happy to see each other, and sat down and talked to him for a bit, and he was like, I was telling him like, how excited I was about him coming, to coach us. I was really, really excited. And he was like, you're going to hate me as a coach. And I was like, shut the fuck up. No, I'm not.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know. Hate is a strong word. I will say, me and Eric, our personalities do clash. That's just what it is. And one thing for me is that, like, you may see things one way and I may see it another way. And then your problem is, and he knows, he's working on it, and I will give him this. He's working on being better at communicating. He says, just with girls, I'm like, you've been doing it for too long. You got to know you should be knowing how to do this already. Like, you've been coaching girls for a very long time. You should already know to do that already. But he's coming into it, and I'm definitely more like direct. You know what I mean? And like, I think there was just times that like he didn't communicate, so I didn't know there was an issue. And then like, and then it was to like, he would do something extravagant to where it's almost like, all right, that was too crazy. That was a lot for me. Why is it already up here? And I didn't even know it was supposed to get this high. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think it was kind of that push and pull with a lot of us throughout the season this past year. But I think it was just a lot. He was coaching national team. Now you're coming to it's your first year being a head coach as national team. Now your first time being a head coach for a professional team. And you have all these girls who knew different things, who you're telling, be professionals, but you have, the team is young. You know what I mean? Like we have some vets, but like majority of your starters are young players. You know what I mean? So like there's a certain part of coaching that you have to do and have to give to them. You know what I mean? And I think that started coming. As you saw the season, it was bumpy as fuck. It was really like, it was very up and down, and very down. And we had so many meetings with and without him, and just as a collective group, and trying to like find this mesh together. And like like always, and we always talked about that, like, you know, it didn't really matter in the middle. What happens, it mattered at the end. And when I tell you at the end, everyone from coaching staff to players really started clicking. It's kind of like whatever issues were at hand, put them to the side and put the team first. And we just did what we had to do. And then they was like, I felt like Eric could do as much as he could do for us and could give us all the information we could need, but it was up to the group of girls of us to get out there and to do it together, you know? And not just like playing, you know, maybe I may see something that Eric doesn't see, you know, giving certain information. Maybe, you know, Julianne is really great about like giving great dialect far as like what she sees visually on the court, to Carly and to Maddie, that kind of stuff too, you know? So it was definitely a collective group, I would say, as far as like the team dynamic, the girls. But like, obviously Eric's the coach, you know, he's the one that trained us every single day. Obviously we're very thankful for that. But I felt like, I know that me and Eric were having conversations. He was like, what more can I do? And I was like, at this point, it's up to you. Like, it's just, we have to do it. You know, we have the tools, the resources, everything at hand. It just ain't clicking for us right now. But I said, don't worry. I said, we did this last season. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. Like, and it was, you know? So, being able to see Eric in different stages of my life have been great. You know, this season was very tough, I would say, definitely on our relationship. But I mean, now that like we're out of that, and obviously like I'm in a different environment, and like obviously also like tension is high. You know, you're training through opposites, and it was just different shit. You know what I mean? So like I feel like now there's like an even like it's like even playing field now. That like the best thing I could do for myself is like go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Just to get myself out of that environment. I feel like anybody in that environment, if you're playing, like the year before, we had 4 opposites, and that was probably the Hogue. That was even more crazy. You know what I mean? So I think once the season ended, especially like after me getting sick and everything, he was very concerned about me when I was sick, like very concerned, to the point where like I wasn't, like he would text me or call me, but like, you know, I was going through something, you know, and like, multiple times, and people would be like, hey, you know, Eric's trying to talk to you, you know, blah, blah, like, you know, he wants to make, like, are you mad? I'm like, no, I'm not, there's nothing to be mad about. Like, I am sick.
Dying.
No, dead ass, you know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking dying, like, you know, so they're like, well, you know, I know you're going through something, but make sure, you know, you reach out. It's not about him, you know what I mean? But like, you know,
let me get through it and then I'll reach out.
Please, you know, so reach out. And he's been very supportive of me and anything I need, you know, so, but yeah, it's been cool. But I'm definitely glad that like, I'm like, it's just better for us to be friends than be work co-workers.
But that's how it is. Some strong personalities, they don't always match the best, but y'all got it done.
Something that me and somebody else talked about the other day is that like, because Eric has known us since we were kids, you know what I mean? Like 18 is very young, and I'm 33. But I think just like all of our parents, you know, once they have you as a kid, you're always going to be their baby, you know? And I think Eric still sees us as like these college kids. And it's like, we're not that though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and who I was in college, not proud. I can admit it, not proud. But who I was in college is definitely not who I am today. You know what I mean? So you're not going to treat me like I'm a problem. We ain't doing that. And I'm going to tell you that too. You know what I mean? That's one thing I didn't do before. No. We ain't doing that. You know, so... But yeah, it's gonna be better. It got better. It's gonna be fine. Yeah.
Perfect. You're excited. Now you're in Miami. After all that.
In Miami, looking for the hoochie daddy.
Yes, Mama. I gotta come out there. Hopefully I am out there.
No, see, I'm telling you, for real. I don't know who I text Courtney yesterday. I don't know who I got to call. I'll be like, y'all put Canaan on the media team.
A media team.
It's okay.
But on a totally unrelated to volleyball note, because I used to watch The Circle religiously, and I was like, hold on, I gotta go rewatch her season. So what was that like? How did that even happen?
I love Netflix. I'm actually being scouted for a show right now too, which is cool. I love TV. I think I'm great for TV, obviously. I just can't do trash TV. Yeah, I can't do trash TV.
No.
Because it's like being on trash TV, it's just giving them what they think I am, which is probably true.
1000%.
But you know, it's
no, it ain't true. You know. That's not true.
Yeah, no, you know, it's just, you know, I could act. That's for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just something that going on trash TV is like, you know, I used to want to be on Bad Girls Club so motherfucking bad. Like, When I was in college, I used to be like,
you would beat a bitch up on Bad Girls.
So I had a plan about going to Bad Girls Club. I said, you know what? I was going to go in Bad Girls Club and act like, you know, like very like shy, like, yeah, I'm a bad girl because I'm from like Mesquite, Texas, and like act real like, yeah, you know, girl, like, of course, like Valley Girl type shit. And
Yes.
you know, the girls, they pick on like the ones that is weak, you know what I mean? So like, and plus I'm tall. So the girls would be like, oh, she tall. I can show that I'm a baddest bitch if I whoop her ass. They'd be like, you know, you're not a bad bitch. Fuck you. Oh, you weak. I'd be like, oh, okay, leave me alone. They'd be like, oh, bitch. So they put a hand on me.
You had this whole thing planned out.
I was ready. Same thing going to the circle. I studied the circle. I went in with a game plan. That fucked me up. But they jumped me. You saw they jumped me. They got me out.
No, they did though.
They had to.
I remember.
No, I'm gonna tell you one thing for sure. This is a note to anybody that's watching this, and an interview in for you. If you ever go on TV, do not tell production everything that you're thinking, because they at the end of the day, they have their own plot. Yeah, of course. I had figured out everybody in the game. I knew River Lee was a catfish. I had got Chloe in my hand. I knew if I could turn Chloe. I had everybody. You know what I mean? When I tell you the way they took my information and put it against me, I told myself, you know what? I said, and one part of it, and they don't show it because obviously they cut stuff, all and edit stuff. I was sitting in the room and I said, if this happens right here, this is rigged. That's what I said. I said, if y'all do this, this is rigged. And because what happened was when I got to do my first voting, and I said, all I need to do is get into a room with Chloe and let her know that Courtney is the one talking shit about her. I had figured all that shit out. I was writing down notes and everything. And I said, okay. And I told production, I said, okay. I said, all I need to do is if I get into, like, you know, they have like when the top two voters get into the
like
room
influencer
together,
thing or whatever.
The influencer, they can talk. If I get into the room with her, I'm about to change the motherfucking game.
They should have let you.
Bitch, when I tell you, they said, you know, it was the last two people got blocked, and it's supposed to be one person, but they blocked two people, and they said there was no influencer this round, and I was Chloe was number one, and I was number two. I said, this is rigged. I said, after that, I was done after that. I was done.
Because you knew that they didn't want you to win.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not fair. Like, it's not fair.
It's not.
It's not an even playing field. Like, y'all already got a plot. Let's change the plot.
And you were already late, and like you came in, and anybody that watched that show knows if you're not the yes,
come on,
like,
let's change the plot. Let's mix some shit up.
Like,
but
that
no,
was my thing. That was my biggest complaint with that show. Was I was like, if you were not one of the first 6 people on, you didn't win.
Yeah.
And so like the fact that you could have been somebody that won as like not one of the OG 6.
It was crazy. And I was like, you know what, that was, they were like, well, you know, Kat, they're like, you know, that was already planned. Y'all are lying. Y'all are lying. But during that time, some people don't know is that like I was signed and playing in second league in Turkey. And before I signed that contract, I already knew I was going to be on the show. Well, I didn't know. They tell you they're going to be on the show, but like I kind of figured that I would be on the show just because like who else, you know? And when I signed that contract to play in Turkey, I said, there may be a time that I have to go for a month. And I said 2 weeks. And I said, if you want me to come to your team, you have to let me go for these 2 weeks and y'all still got to pay me. And they were like, yeah, sure, blah, 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 blah. But it was during COVID. So we had to quarantine for 2 weeks and then I filmed for 2 weeks. So I was gone for a month. Still paid me. And what I was doing was I was getting up. No, in the morning we'd wake up and say, good morning, circle. I was getting up way before everybody else, maybe like 2 hours or hour before, going to work out privately by myself, and then coming back, showering and getting back in bed, and then waking up when the cameras would start rolling. So like it was a whole process. Because I didn't
think you had to stay in shape.
Stay in shape. I played my first game the day I got back on October 31st. I played November 1st. They tried to sit me out. We were losing. They put me in the game, and we won in 5. Like it took me about a set to figure it out, and then after that, it was on.
Yeah.
But after that, you know, but it was my experience with Netflix was great. It was amazing. I loved it so much. Still keep in contact with some of the people, especially like Delisa. Me and her are still really good friends. Yeah. Life happens. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot of people think like, you know, once you get on TV, you want to like ride the wave, but like what you should, and there's a way to do it, but like I couldn't because my job was still overseas. Right. You know what I mean? So it was hard to kind of stay in the mix and be abroad, and everybody was meeting up and doing these parties together and hanging out and going to all these different like shows and stuff together, or appearances together. But I say I still got some traffic, and like the impact that I left was what I wanted to leave. You know, like I didn't get on TV, and like I said, I wanted to advocate for black women. Like we're smart, we're articulate, we're beautiful. We're not all like ratchet and ghetto and blah 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 that people think that we are.
Right.
A little bit. It's a little bit, but turn it on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. So, but yeah, it was really, really great. Yeah.
No, love that. There was somebody at the Love Championships that was helping with, because I did the pregame show for it, and this girl was like the producer, and she was like, I used to produce Big Brother, and I love her. First of all, she was so neat, so sweet. Yeah. She was like, let me get you in contact. She goes, I think you would do well. I said, hold on a second.
Baby, you can do TV for sure, 100%. Yeah,
thank you. I would love to. I would love to do TV.
You have a good personality, so yeah.
Thank you. I try. But let's see. So there's a lot of new teams in Love, obviously, and I think there's obviously been some discourse between the two leagues, and you'll shoot straight, so I don't care to bring it up. I'm like, and you played for both. I forgot you played with Thrill.
Las Vegas. Yeah, I was with Las Vegas for the first year, the inaugural season.
And you don't got to go into all the details of contracts and stuff because like people don't always believe me. But if you want to just talk about what you like potentially more about Love, or maybe why you chose Love after Thrill, if you feel comfortable. We don't have to. It's whatever you think.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, MLB, everybody knows is paying. They is paying.
That's the thing, because they try to act like Love's paying these girls to come over here. I'm like, they're not getting more money. They're not. In fact, I know for a fact some of them are taking a pay cut.
Yep, they're taking pay cuts, maybe close to what they making or made, but they ain't. Because Love just ain't got it. But here's, and they're gonna get it. They will eventually get it. And I will say this. There's also a chance that they're putting money into players that are like obviously overseas who have a high profile name.
Yes.
But do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. If that's gonna bring traction and bring the league to another level, 100%, I'm all for it. I'm gonna take a pay cut too. You bring in somebody that's gonna be whamming and bamming and already got this name behind them and played in some of the best leagues in the world, and then coming here, I'll take for the sport for us here. I'm gonna do that too. So yeah, I don't think Love is paying girls. I think girls are actually seeing that like there is a discrepancy in the level, 100%. Like I will say, MLV is very. Bam. You know what I mean? Like they're getting a lot of kills. Boom, 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 boom. There's some rallies. You know what I mean? It's almost like watching like men's volleyball. Men's volleyball in a lot of rallies. It's like bump set. Somebody's fucking caca in that bitch.
Yeah.
I think Love, because the level was just a little bit more higher. There's a lot more rallies and there's a lot more like balance. If that makes sense, I mean, what team in MLB are gonna have JT versus Madison Skinner? Every other week. They don't have that. You know what I mean? So I think the players that can compete at this level can see that. And again, up to you. If you want to play for money, that's cool. But stay, whatever, go, whatever. But I think the girls that are striving for something can see that there's a little bit difference here, and they can develop their game a little bit more coming to this level. I would say that because the coaches, hats off, are most of the better coaches than I would say compared to MLB, 100%.
Yeah. And also, do you want to go into just like, also the way that it's like, obviously Love, I don't know about MLB. I don't think they do because I've had a few friends and they've signed NDA, so I can't really say what they've told me, but that have had to go to litigation with them over like not having a job after some things. Whereas like Love is paying for 9 months of maternity leave. And just things that's
a no-brainer. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, Love is definitely, I would say, more for the girls. They're more for the athletes, 100%. MLB setup is kind of like, I think, very NFL style. It's like if you don't show up or do this, you get cut. Even, I mean, obviously similar to overseas, but like not that like dry, if that makes sense. But I feel like, even as an athlete, I feel like if you're making a certain amount of money at somewhere, I think, like for me, when I first started playing, even though I was making like big checks in Korea, I was still playing. I was trying to find ways to play all year round because I wanted to make more money. So Korea was from August to March. I would go play in Puerto Rico from catching at least like most of the end of the season going into the playoffs. And then I would go play in the Philippines in the summertime, and the summer is done around, July, September, whatever. Then going back into Korea or going to play in Turkey or going into play in China, where I was doing. So, like, I think we have to be more responsible about, like, finding more revenue outside of just here, if that makes sense.
No,
but
definitely.
that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, camp is cool. You know, I did camp last year just because like I had an opportunity to. But then this year I was like, okay, well, I wanted to run camp this summer, but I was like, I need to take a lot more time on myself and my body. Like, I can't really run a camp right now with hitting balls and trying to demonstrate and this kind of stuff too. And the way I like to run camp, I'm very much involved as far as like demos and playing. You know, the girls want to play against us. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like it's better just to find more revenue as far as like making money. But I think, you know, MLB, some players is getting getting cleared, but then some players are making very McDonald's, not even what a McDonald's worker would make in a year, which is crazy.
Dang, that's crazy. And I know, and that's what I was like. I know Love pays. It's just like some people are saying like, oh, Love's paying these girls, they're poaching. First of all, that ain't a term in pro volleyball, babe. That is not a thing. That's not a thing.
Girls are seeing what most fans don't know. You know, I feel like the average eye to volleyball, they don't know the difference. You know, with MLB, it's very, like I said, very big rush and bang and athletic plays and all these kind of things. But also, like, we have that stuff too. But you know, we cost a lot of points just from the serving alone. The serving from Love MLB completely different.
Yeah.
I think the girls that are coming here from MLB are going to ask me the first thing I would say: the ball and the serving, 100%.
Yeah, that, and then I would even go as far as to say the sides. Like that's why there's rallies in Love. The block is huge. It's huge.
You got Asia O'Neal, Madison Skinner up in front of you. Come on, that's huge.
You got everybody. Everybody's so like that's the thing. It's like what people. If you're the average viewer, like Love is set up to be more like international volleyball in the sense of like the level of play and even the rule sets, you know, but just like high level volleyball is controlled. It's high off the block. It's the block touch. It's the longer, the gritty plays. And I was like you said, it's just like when the block is smaller, you're going to bang the ball. Yeah. Like,
MLB has some of the size on some teams, depending on who's making up the team. But the block is in discipline. You know, there's been times I've watched the game, I'm like, that block is way too wide. That's why she's crushing it across court. You know what I mean? Like, the adjustment in the game is a lot slower than it is for Love, I will say. But the athletes are still great. I feel like they still have a lot of prime time athletes. And I feel like the ones that are maybe prime that are staying and getting paid a lot of money, kudos to them too. You know, again, it's up to whatever is your cup of tea. You know what I mean? But what I will say is that I like the way production is run from MLB. Like, I feel like the ball, that sound on the court is a lot louder. I feel like I can hear more of what's going on the court than I can hear a lot more in the Love games. That makes sense. It's something about the mics. I don't know. Yeah, that's just me.
Could be. And I also, like, for some people think I hate MLB. I watch almost every indie game. I think indie is super fun to watch. Yeah. Super high level team. I think they're super fun. But yeah, I wanted to get your insight. I was like, she won't be biased and she'll cut it straight through because she's played for both.
Yeah, it's for me, it's like, I know what I know because of who I am. So, like, I'm not going to... What I'm saying, I've seen it all. You know what I mean? I've done it all. I've seen it all. I played with some of the best players in the world. I played against some of the best players in the world. Like, it's... You know, I would say I'm pretty straightforward and honest, but ideally, you know, it's nothing against any other league or any other between MLB or Love. It's just like, you know, they're both different. Just like... NBA and the G League. The G League is very still high level. Like there's some guys in the G League that should be in the NBA, but they're just over there. I wouldn't say MLB is the G League, but it's like it's still a high level volleyball. It's just not. It's just different. You know, it's just different.
It's just different. Yeah. 1000%. Speaking of, where is so far outside of the U.S. Where has been your favorite place to play? Because you played everywhere.
Yeah, I've been, girl. When I tell you, not girl, boy. When I tell you, I be bouncing around. You know.
Let me go get my wig. She's in the closet somewhere.
Yeah, got mine on. My shit's so down. You see her from the scalp, baby.
She look good. She look good.
Yeah, I've enjoyed traveling a lot. I would say my favorite place to play. I love Korea. I do love Korea. I do love the Philippines. But it's something about Istanbul. Istanbul is
really,
you know, man. I would say, if you ever talk to Chiaka, she's a good person to interview too. She would tell you it's something about that. It's something in the air, baby. It's like New York City, but it's not like
really.
It's something about Istanbul.
Okay, cute. I'll definitely. I've never been. Fun fact: I've actually never left the U.S.
Well, you need to get out of here, child.
No, I know. I'm going to the Bahamas this for my birthday.
Okay, nice. Okay.
Come with. We'll go watch that NCAA game.
Oh, where's the game?
They're doing it's Houston, Kentucky, Purdue, and SMU are playing a tournament in the Bahamas.
Oh, I'm going then.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell Love to send me. I'm gonna tell them we right here.
That's what it's an hour and a half flight.
Yeah, they gonna send me. I'm gonna be there. I'm coming.
It's on my birthday. It's literally on my birthday. So I said, I'll be there.
I'm for real. I'm coming. When is it?
September 11th to 13th.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't get inducted to the Hall of Fame until the 17th. Oh, I'm coming. I'm gonna be there. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm putting it on my calendar right now.
We'll talk about it. We'll be in touch.
Yeah. Yeah. Send me that.
I'm supposed to meet with them in like a week or so. I'm like, listen, you ain't got to pay for everything. Just help me out.
Yeah,
help a brother out.
Flight or pay for your hotel at least. You know,
hotel. That's the real cost. I'm like, just give me a media pass. Get me on the floor.
You'll get all the flight. You get all the content.
Yes, and I'll do the content.
I will tell them. If I was you, I'll be like,
Lord knows, I think that finals film. I got some views on that. People ate that shit up.
You did good. I liked it too. Yeah, I kind of been seeing your content floating around too, but I never followed you. I just kind of saw you on my algorithm page, and then I met you. I was like, oh, he's the truth. I'll follow him. That's fine.
Thank you.
People got mixed reviews about you. You know, they got mixed reviews about you.
No, they do. And I'm like, when they meet me, they're like, oh, wait.
They were like, he messy. And I'm like, oh, I think he honest.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just honest. But I will say,
I think it when you tell the truth.
No, that's the damn truth right there.
Yeah.
But I think also the problem is that a lot of the internet don't like me because they're jealous. Let me tell you like that. They just stay jealous of me because they don't get to go meet all these players and do what I'm doing right now with the girls. So all that. But then also, I do feel sometimes I think when I first started out, when I'd recap a game, so, a player that I was talking, they had a bad performance. Maybe it's your job, especially in the NIL era. When you're getting this much money, it's a job, babe. Mm-hmm. And if you have a bad performance and I say it, that doesn't mean I think you're a bad person. That doesn't mean I think you're a bad player. And just because I think somebody is better than you doesn't mean that I think you're bad. And I think a lot of these girls, at first were like, oh, he thinks I'm shit and he's talking shit about me. And I'm like, well, first off, hold on, girl. I said, did you only watch one video or did you watch holistically? And she's like, well, I saw this one video.
This is where we're at when we connect here, because this for example, this is a true story. This may be a little messy, but I don't care because it's the truth. Okay. If someone tells you, oh, in my mind, I know I'm the best player in this league. That's great. That's in your mind, but that's not the truth. So don't be coming to me about some shit that's not the truth. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you, you popping your shit. I mean, yeah. You doing good.
Right.
But you see JT?
That part. JT was.
Did you see
crazy.
her?
Yeah.
Did you see? Did you see Jordan Poulter? Did you see her? Did you see her do her shit? Did you see her? Did you see Serena? You see Serena pop her shit?
Literally.
I would just, I'm very real about that. I'm like, did you see Maddie Skinner go off on 30 points at the game? Did you see that?
Yeah.
I need people to be real, and that's how you are. It's like, you're the best, but there are always someone who's better than you.
Oh, yeah, and if you have a bad performance, I'm allowed to say you played like shit.
Because you did.
That's the thing. But then that's what people said. They're like, well, they know they did, and I said, okay. Well,
so what's the problem? So it should be like, yeah, you're right. Own it. It's better if you own it. Like, hey, yeah.
Yes.
What's Kat talking about? She's still on the bench and did. But guess what? When that name is called, who gonna stop me? That's crazy.
Right.
And what I've been doing since before I got on the bench, I don't give a fuck. I went on the bench the past 10 years, bitch. The fuck?
That part.
I don't care. It cost me nothing. Hey, y'all want to pay me this check to sit on the bench and talk to these girls and lift them up and give Madison Skinner some M&Ms or Skittles to chew on? I'm gonna do that, baby. What you need your water? You need a snack?
Mama Bell said,
line up on that line. Then dive in. Okay, you got it. Okay, let's go. Break it out. Take my ass back on the sideline and dug it.
At the finals when they call a timeout and then I see you walking around just touching all of them.
I said, trying to give them good vibes. Good vibes.
Mama Cat, giving the vibes out here.
Like shit, I'll be on the sideline ducking. They be like, dubs up. Who? Me? Julianne? Jay? Me? Who? Okay, whatever. She going? Bye.
Exactly.
Let's go.
But
I'm really
but I was like, you got to watch more than just one video, bet.
Yeah, they just see the clickbait stuff, and people send them sometimes too. So
Oh, I know.
But at the same time, I tell them, like, you know, social media and everything, like, it don't matter. Just as long as you good here with yourself, anything outside input don't even matter.
That's what I say.
These comments may be lit on this video after this, but I don't give a fuck. Because guess what? Y'all ain't gonna say shit to me. Wait.
No. What you gonna do?
You see that?
Look at the doll, period.
You see that?
And there's about to be a new one. There's about to be a new one. Hall of Fame.
Exactly. Hall of Fame going right here, baby. Exactly.
That part. That part. But no, I totally agree. Like, people, they just got to learn to ignore social media. Like, if I listen to every piece of hate I saw about myself, and I don't even play professionally. Like, imagine if I was playing pro, and I'd be like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't go on Volley Talk. I don't do none of that shit.
Sometimes I get bored, and guess what? I will write the fuck back. You bald-headed scallywag.
Oh.
That's why your mama booty stank. I will write back. Oh, you think you got some words? I'm finna make you want to jump off a bridge. That's why your hairline is to the side.
You see what's crazy? See, that's what I be saying. There was one time, there was some fucking video, and somebody sent me, because I for real, I don't go on Volley Talk, but I'll tell people that I talk to in my DMs that, like, follow me. I'll be like, you ever see my fucking name? You send me a screenshot of that shit right away. Because I want to know what these bitches are saying, but I don't want to look for it.
Yeah.
And they were talking some mad shit about, like, something I said, and then I go out there and I said, these lazy, bald bitches behind a screen got a lot to say. I said, they just some jealous people, and you should see the screenshots I got next. Then they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do.
Exactly.
They were
Baby, come to the games.
mind.
I know where I be at. Come to the games. Be like, Kat, I was the one that said this about you. Okay, cool. Let me know. Come to the games.
That's what I said.
I think what's her name? The girl that went to Nebraska, Rebecca.
Alec.
Yeah, she had made some video about wanting to play Texas again or something about that.
Yeah.
And they ended up losing to Texas, or they lost before they got out, something like that. And she was like, at the time for me, I was like, well. Still, I didn't know that Texas and Nebraska was like arch enemies. You know,
Yeah, I didn't know they were even like that either, to be honest.
Yeah, but apparently they are. So I didn't think that was a thing. And I said that I was like, when was Nebraska and Texas arch enemies like this? This is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I like watching Nebraska, but I think it's because Asia tore that ass up. She belt to ass in the finals.
I commented on the post, and some people were saying something. I was like, you fucking Husker fans. I ain't gonna do too much on y'all because y'all will come for a bitch. So I ain't gonna do too much on y'all.
No,
but
yeah.
They will do too much. But hey, don't do too much, because if you do, I'm gonna do more. I'm telling you, I'm a Twitter finger too.
So you're like me, because I respond to everybody, and the thing is, unless you're talking shit like about a girl's character, like an athlete's character, I'll leave that comment up. If you're talking shit about me, because I will clap back. But if you talk, like, if they start coming for somebody else's character that's not me, I'll just block you, because don't come up on my page talking shit about somebody's character and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about me, baby, let's talk. Let's talk, because if you don't have a face picture.
If you bad built,
that's the thing. Listen, and that's the thing. I go all these tournaments. I've been to the Love matches. I've been in Love, Nebraska. I've been everywhere for volleyball at this point. I've been at AAU nationals for girls, boys, everything, and I ain't never met somebody that talks shit to my face.
Exactly. So, y'all see me.
So if you all got a lot to say, y'all know where I'm at. Come find me.
Clock that motherfucking team.
Clock that shit. If you got a lot to say, come find me.
I'm so weak.
Say it to my face, bitch.
Hey,
but you
Canaan
won't.
dead ass.
No, I am. Come on up. Because I'm the nicest person, and you're going to find out real quick how nice I can be.
Yeah, you are such a sweetheart. I'm so glad to do this interview with you. I'm having such a good time.
No, I'm so glad. I had your number forever, and I was like, okay, I don't want to exploit my connection. I was like, we have a good relationship. I don't want her to think I'm using her. I'm like, I just fucking love you.
Fine.
So I was like, I have to get it.
Thanks.
But, oh my God, thanks for doing this with me.
Of course.
Hopefully I'm in Miami.
Yeah, even if you come out this way, let me know so we can kick it.
No, literally, I've actually been meaning to come back. So when you get back from
our pool's upstairs. It's really nice. We might have a pool day, have some little tranky drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Some like 60th floor or something like that. It's nice. So.
Oh, sign me up, baby.
Yes, whenever you come, let me know.
No, I will. Let me know. Oh, and then let's get a little clickbait for the end. So, for everyone wondering where you're going to be next season, do you want to enlighten us?
I'll be in Miami looking for the hoochie daddies. I'm just playing for Love Miami for the 2026-27 season, baby. What's up? What's up? Bit of bitch, cookies up. 7 more cookies up.
Hey, Cody.
Later on the day, big Shanae bags, bitches just ain't seeing shit my way. Bitches made me mad, but then again, they mama made mistakes.